One email decision cost a billionaire $75 billion. A single tweet erased $44 billion in net worth overnight. And one handshake deal became the biggest regret of someone's life. These aren't cautionary tales. These are billion-dollar disasters. We all make mistakes. Forget an anniversary, miss a flight, send an email to the wrong person. But when billionaires make mistakes, the numbers are almost incomprehensible. We're talking billions. With a B. Some of these mistakes were bad timing. Others were ego. A few were just spectacularly bad judgment. But here's what's fascinating. These aren't stupid people. They're some of the smartest, most successful humans on the planet. Today, we're counting down the most expensive mistakes billionaires have ever made. From rejected partnerships to disastrous acquisitions. From tweets that tanked stocks to deals that changed everything. Let's get into it. Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Let's start with one of the most recent. Elon Musk buying Twitter. In 2022, Musk offered to buy Twitter for $44 billion. Then he tried to back out. Then he was legally forced to go through with it. The purchase was funded partly by selling Tesla stock, which tanked Tesla's value. His net worth dropped by over $100 billion. After buying Twitter, advertisers fled. Revenue collapsed. The company's value plummeted to around $15 billion, a $29 billion loss. Musk himself admitted the purchase nearly bankrupted him personally. Was it ego? Impulsiveness? Probably both. The lesson? Even the richest person in the world can make a $44 billion mistake. Blockbuster rejecting Netflix. This one is legendary. In 2000, Netflix was struggling. They were losing money and needed help. The founders flew to Dallas to meet with Blockbuster's CEO. They offered to sell Netflix for $50 million. Blockbuster laughed them out of the room. Fast forward, Netflix is worth over $200 billion today. Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy in 2010. That rejection didn't just cost Blockbuster money, it cost them the entire future of entertainment. $50 million seemed like a lot at the time. In hindsight, it was the bargain of the century. Ronald Wayne selling his Apple stake. Here's a painful one. Ronald Wayne was one of Apple's original co-founders, alongside Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Wayne owned 10% of the company, but 12 days after Apple was founded, he got nervous. He thought it was too risky, so he sold his stake for $800. $800. Today, that 10% stake would be worth over $300 billion. Wayne says he doesn't regret it because he would have never survived the stress. But still, $800 versus $300 billion. That's the most expensive case of cold feet in history. Excite turning down Google. In 1999, Larry Page and Sergey Brin tried to sell Google. They were grad students who wanted to focus on their PhDs. They approached Excite, one of the biggest search engines at the time. They offered to sell Google for $1 million. Excite's CEO thought it was too expensive. He countered with $750,000. Larry and Sergey said no. Excite walked away. Google is now worth over $2 trillion. Excite doesn't exist anymore. That's a $2 trillion mistake. Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse bet. Mark Zuckerberg has bet tens of billions on the metaverse, and so far, it's been a disaster. Since 2021, Meta has spent over $46 billion on Reality Labs. The return? Massive losses every single quarter. The metaverse hasn't caught on. People aren't using it. Investors are furious. Meta's stock tanked, erasing hundreds of billions in market value. Zuckerberg even renamed Facebook to Meta, tying the company's identity to this bet. Is it over? Maybe not. Zuckerberg is doubling down. But right now, it looks like one of the most expensive failed bets in tech history. Yahoo rejecting Microsoft's offer. In 2008, Microsoft offered to buy Yahoo for $44.6 billion. Yahoo CEO Jerry Yang rejected it. He thought Yahoo was worth more. He was wrong. Yahoo's value collapsed. By 2016, Yahoo sold to Verizon for $4.5 billion, a $40 billion difference. Yang's rejection is considered one of the worst decisions in Silicon Valley history. Shareholders were furious. Yang eventually stepped down. That decision cost shareholders tens of billions in value. Rupert Murdoch, buying MySpace. In 2005, Rupert Murdoch bought MySpace for $580 million. At the time, MySpace was the hottest social network. Murdoch thought he was buying the future of social media. Then Facebook came along. MySpace couldn't compete. Users fled. By 2011, Murdoch sold MySpace for $35 million. That's a $545 million loss. Murdoch later called the MySpace acquisition his worst business decision. He admitted they didn't understand the technology or the audience. SoftBank's WeWork investment. SoftBank invested over $18 billion into WeWork. WeWork was a real estate company disguised as a tech startup. They leased office space and rented it out. But their CEO, Adam Neumann, convinced investors it was revolutionary. SoftBank bought in big. Then everything collapsed. WeWork's IPO failed. The company was burning cash with no path to profitability. SoftBank lost billions. The investment became one of the biggest flops in venture capital history. Masayoshi Son admitted he misjudged Neumann and the business, an $18 billion misjudgment. Tesla's funding secured tweets. Back to Elon Musk. In 2018, he tweeted, "Am considering taking Tesla private at $420. Funding secured." The problem? Funding was not secured. The SEC investigated. Musk was fined $20 million. He was forced to step down as Tesla's chairman. Tesla was also fined $20 million. The tweet created chaos. Tesla's stock fluctuated wildly. Shareholders lost money, trust was damaged. 7 words cost Musk and Tesla $40 million in fines, plus the reputational damage. When you're a billionaire, every word has consequences. Jeff Bezos' divorce. In 2019, Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Scott divorced after 25 years of marriage. Mackenzie received 25% of their Amazon shares. At the time, worth $38 billion. This made her one of the richest women in the world overnight. Calling this a mistake isn't entirely fair. Divorces happen. But from a purely financial perspective, it was one of the most expensive splits in history. Even if you're the richest person on earth, personal decisions have massive financial consequences. The common thread. Here's what's interesting. These mistakes share common themes. Ego, thinking you know better than everyone else. Timing, making decisions too fast or too slow. Overconfidence, believing something is a sure thing when it's not. These billionaires didn't fail because they were dumb. They failed because they were human. They made emotional decisions. They ignored warning signs. The difference between us and them, when we make mistakes, we lose hundreds or thousands. When they make mistakes, they lose billions. So there you have it. The most expensive mistakes billionaires have ever made. From $44 billion Twitter disasters to $800 Apple shares. From rejected Google offers to metaverse money pits. These stories are cautionary tales, but they're also weirdly comforting. Even the most successful people in the world screw up. Massively. The question isn't whether you'll make mistakes, it's whether you'll learn from them. For most of us, our mistakes won't cost billions, but the lessons are the same. Think before you act. Don't let ego drive decisions, and always read the fine print. If you enjoyed these billion-dollar disaster stories, hit that like button. And if you want more content about the wild world of billionaires and business mistakes, subscribe. Drop a comment, which mistake shocked you the most? I'll see you in the next one.